Kia ora, I'm David Chester with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news. Australia has been assessing their exposure risks to upcoming Trump tariffs, and they're nervous. But first in the US, the November CPI rate came in without any surprises. It rose for a second consecutive month to 2.7% in November from 2.6% in October. But the rise is partly influenced by low base effects from last year. Core inflation, that's without food and energy, was stable at 3.3%. Food prices rose 2.4% and rents 4.7%. Petrol costs fell 8.1%. As expected, the Bank of Canada cut its key interest rate by 50 basis points for a second consecutive time at its December meeting to 3.25% to make 175 basis points of cumulative rate cuts from this cycle's peak at 5%. The sharp interest rate cut followed data showing that the Canadian GDP grew an annualised 1% in the third quarter, below the central bank's projections, and shrank on a per capita basis. And growth in the fourth quarter poses risks of also missing forecasts. In Japan, producer prices rose 3.7% in November from a year ago, higher than in October and exceeding market estimates of 3.4%. It was the 45th straight month of producer price inflation, marking the highest figure since July 2023. These pressures will eventually show up in consumer prices. And that in turn will encourage the Bank of Japan to raise its 0.25% policy interest rate. Their next review is on Thursday, December the 19th, when a 25 basis point rise is anticipated by financial markets. In China, Reuters is reporting that officials are open to let the value of the yuan slide in 2025 as a way to push back against the expected Trump tariffs. In Australia, their policymakers have been reviewing their risks from upcoming Trump tariffs. They found direct risks were low, in fact very low, but indirect risks were unusually high and cited some startling analysis from the Bank of International Settlements. The more China is affected, the more Australia is. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.24% and unchanged from yesterday. The price of gold will start today at $2,713 and up $20 from yesterday and a two-week high. Oil prices are up 50 US cents in the US to $70 a barrel there, while the international Brent price is unchanged at $72.50 a barrel. OPEC cut its forecast for global oil demand growth in both 2024 and 2025 overnight. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at just under 58 US cents and unchanged from this time yesterday. Against the Aussie, though, we're down 10 basis points at 90.9 Australian cents. Against the euro, a little change to 55.2 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just over 67.8 to be down 10 basis points from yesterday. And you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.